So 9 years ago, I had the privilege of starting my second business with my husband, which is a direct primary care concierge medicine business. We have 5 locations in Chicago. And from the outset, my husband and I were building a company that we knew would attract capital. We knew that we weren't going to fix healthcare with the money that we had from the profits of the company or ourselves. This is a much bigger problem that required a lot more money. And so when we were building this company, we really had to be intentional about building a company that would attract growth capital to invest in this business, to allow us to scale to a much larger size. And when you're building a company like that, there are a couple of things that you have to keep in mind. You need to create a platform from which all your operations can be seamlessly executed. What do I mean by that? So, I've talked earlier on my channel about SOPs and hiring the right staff. Those things are really important, but anytime you do something in your business more than once, you need to create some sort of system around that. And we do that by systematizing through written documentation what it is that we do, so that when we hire new team members, or we're hiring a handful of new team members, we can very easily and quickly onboard them and teach them the skills that they need to be able to do that job through written SOPs. But on top of that, to put those in some sort of wiki that allows them to use that as a resource if they need help learning how to do their job or to do their job at any one point in time. That's the first thing. And the second thing is, no matter how small you are, especially when you're starting out in business, there's not a lot of revenue coming in, and maybe there's a lot of expenses, but you need to build your accounting system as if you're an IPO. You cannot treat your business like your own personal piggy bank. You need to separate out your expenses from the expenses of the business. Because when a private equity firm or a growth capital company comes in to look at your operations and your financial systems and controls, that's the first thing that they're going to look at. Is there a clear way to identify what this business has been making? Meaning, if you've been running a whole bunch of personal expenses through the company, can you strip out some of those personal expenses to show what the actual EBITDA of that company is? And is there repeatable, documented processes that exist in that company? Is there something that that growth capital company is going to be really investing in, or is all of that knowledge and those processes stuck in the head of the founders? So if you're growing a company that you're going to sell or that you're going to bring on growth capital in the future, always be thinking about the kind of company that you need to become in order to attract that kind of capital. So that's the first two things that I think are really important. And then the second thing is, anything that you do in your company needs to be documented, right? If you make a decision, a big decision to pivot away from something or to move towards something else, document that, memorialize it, write it down, take meeting minutes if you need to. Because what will happen is, over the years, you'll forget why you made the decisions that you made. And you may be asked to tell your story, or what was the evolution of your company? What was the thinking moving from A to B? And having that clearly documented allows you to tell the story to the capital partner that's coming in, or to the acquirer if you're selling your company. I know this because I just went through due diligence selling our company, and it is a massive undertaking. You will spend weeks providing documentation around your insurance, documentation around your finances, documentation around your HR, documentation around everything you do in your company. And let me tell you, you will be able to sleep at night if you're just grabbing it from a Google folder and dropping it into a shared Google folder and then answering some specific questions and citing the documentation that you have. If you do not have this, you will struggle to get through the due diligence, and you will struggle to look like a professional, well-oiled machine that you really want to look like to somebody that's coming in to acquire or invest in your company. So from day one, think about those things so that you have a durable, valuable, sustainable business that is sellable or attractive enough to a capital partner so that you can get from 200 to 400 to 400 million. I wish you luck.